Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Summer on the Mic. If this is your first time, welcome. My name is Miss Summer Erugo, and this is episode 12. If you're a returning listener, welcome back, and Happy New Year. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about things I'm doing this 2025. And I'll start by asking you, what is your mantra for 2025? For me, it is lock in. And this year, I'm going to be locking in on all my goals. I'm going to be very intentional and just being intentional about everything I'm going to be doing this year. So with my podcast, with my personal development, my academics, work, whatever it is, I'm locking in. I'm focusing fully on my goals. And focus for me would be I saw this recently, following one course until you succeed at it, and that is what I'm doing this year. So the very first thing I'm going to be doing this year is being intentional about making quiet time. So I've realized that it's very important to have quiet time. Just allows you the opportunity to think. It's very important to have an alone time. Sometimes we're just rushing through life and there's really never time to sit down and think of what we need to do or the next course of actions that we want to take. So this year I'm going to make time, especially to just have a quiet time to myself. The next thing I'm going to be doing, or number 2 on my list, is to be honest with myself, basically conducting weekly and monthly reports or reviews. So I'm going to be analyzing what did I do this month. I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to really sit down and process my thoughts or what I even did during the month or during the week. Like, did I achieve this thing I set out to do? I'm going to make time to actually sit down and run through my thoughts, basically. Number 3, I would say, is spending more time with God and being consistent. So if it means me waking up early, or waking up earlier than I would normally do, just so I can have that quiet time with God and just sit down to reflect and pray and journal. Number 4 is being consistent. I want to be really consistent this year. Like, I want to be in your face. Like, yes, your face. I want to keep putting out content. I want to keep being consistent in whatever it is that I'm doing. Like in number 3, I said that I wanted to be consistent in my prayer life and my spiritual journey, but I want to be consistent in every other area of my life. So if it means having and forming routines or habits and just being consistent with it. So if I say I'm going to be waking up 5 a.m. every day, I should do that every single day. Number 4, I'm going to be reading this year. I'm reading more and maybe try and read a book every month. I like the wisdom that comes with reading books because you don't actually necessarily have to sit down and like have to learn something. You can read it through a book and there's so much information you get through books, and I want to start doing that this year as well. Number 5, I want to listen to more podcasts and replace music with podcasts. So I spend a lot of time listening to music, and that time could be spent putting information into my brain, basically. I want to spend less amount of time. So if I'm doing something and I have opportunity to sit down and like think as I'm listening to that thing, then I might as well play podcast and listen to a podcast rather than like listen to music, maybe even like audiobooks. For number 6, I'm going to say having systems and goals. So it's easy for us to write down like the things that we want to achieve. It's easy for us to say, okay, by the end of the year, I want to make 100,000 followers on Instagram. That is your goal for the year. But how do you intend to make the 100,000 followers? What are you going to be doing? You're going to be posting every week, right? What is it going to take for you to post every week? So does it mean sitting down to plan out your content on a Saturday? Does it mean waking up 5 a.m., 4 a.m. to write out the things that you're going to say or to maybe record, whatever the case is? But having a system for this thing. So forming a routine, for example, that every Friday when you get back from work, you would make a video, you would post and edit on Saturday, that kind of thing. So systems are not just goals. So number 7, I would say, is being not just a consumer, but also adding value. So it's one thing for you to keep putting in things into your head, learning, but not actually applying it. So there's something I saw on, I think, Global Temi's page, and she said, knowledge is not just supposed to be consumed, but applied. So is when you learn something, share it. Even as I'm recording this video to you as well, it is sharing knowledge. So not just being a consumer, but also being applying the knowledge that you're gaining or sharing value. So maybe writing, if you're good at writing an article, whatever it is, but sharing knowledge as well. Keep educating yourself. Keep learning. Keep listening to podcasts. Keep listening to TED Talks. Keep listening to sermons. But just keep growing in the knowledge that you have. You see that song that says,
I know they promise anything where my power no reach. My yes is my yes, my no is my no.
I'm going to be applying that in this 2025. I'm going to be learning to say no. That is something that I think I've struggled with for the longest time. Learning to say no. I'm going to learn to say no in this 2025. If you hear me say no to you, please just understand that I'm learning. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please make sure you like, share, comment. I want to know the things that you're doing this 2024. And like I said at the beginning of the podcast, what is your mantra for 2025? My mantra is lock in, and I'm going to be locking in. Are you? Bye.
Hi guys, welcome back to Summer on the Mic. And today we are going to be talking about so many things. Stay tuned and just wait for what we have in store.
Hi guys, I'm Precious and we're with Soma. Stay tuned, I guess. Yeah. We're just what's the word? Rambling.
Bye.